Today we're making Súp Nui Sườn Heo, which is macaroni soup with pork. Súp Nui Sườn Heo is basically a clear pork bone broth noodle soup, and instead of American macaroni, which you're used to, we actually use rice macaroni, which is actually softer. It takes a little bit longer to cook, but I really like the texture better. So to make Súp Nui Sườn Heo, we're first gonna boil some pork bones to extract the pork flavor. If you don't eat pork, you can also use beef bones or chicken as well. Next, we're gonna add some veggies like carrots, potatoes, daikon, and even onions to add some depth and more flavor to the broth. Then you simmer it and boil your macaroni, and that's it. So growing up, this was actually super cheap to make. Pork bones were probably the cheapest bones out of all of them. But I went to 99 Ranch and they were like $18 for 2 pounds. So it's more expensive, but it's still you can make so much from it. So if you don't like rice macaroni, you can also eat this with rice as well. It's also a great side soup if you're eating an entree. First, I recommend boiling your macaroni noodles. There's so many different rice macaroni brands. Just make sure it says rice macaroni. They're super soft. For this, I just boil them to the package directions and then rinse and set aside for later. So what I like about this soup is you can kind of use whatever veggies you have left over. So for this, I had some carrots, some daikon, and even potatoes left in my fridge. So we're gonna peel and wash everything first. After that, we're gonna cut everything into quarters. It's okay if they're not exact, but just make sure they're roughly the same size so they cook about the same time. I also like adding an onion in to add some extra flavor to the broth. For the green onions, you're gonna cut it in 2 parts, the white parts for the soup and then the green parts for garnish. Roughly chop your cilantro. Now that you have everything prepped, we're gonna bring a pot of water to a boil, then drop in our pork bones. We're gonna boil this on medium-high for about 5 minutes so that the gunk can be released from the bones. Once you see the gunk or the bones float to the top, you wanna scoop it out. Next, you're gonna add in your veggies. Once it boils, turn it down to a simmer for about 18 to 20 minutes with the lid loosely on. Finally, season to taste with fish sauce, chicken bouillon, sugar, salt, and pepper. Once you season it to taste, let's assemble our bowl. Add your macaroni, your soup, and don't forget your garnishes.